I don't think there are a lot of couples that use NFP regularly and follow all of the other rules to a T. Most people,
they cut corners somewhere.
Yeah. That's kind of been our working theory, and I'm growing more and more confident in that theory.
Pretty accurate.
Right.
It's almost like a facade, really, that we all live this situation where I think maybe to the priests, they think everybody's just trucking along. And, but there's some corner cutting going on.
Which is why I... Welcome back, everyone. Craig and Jonah here today. How are you today, Jonah?
Pretty good. Doing well. We've had a lot going on in our house lately. So, we live in a very secluded area. We have no real neighbors. And so we don't have curtains on our windows on our bedroom.
Oh.
And we also leave the light on to a certain degree when we're together. And we didn't think anything of it for a long time. I mean, Dolores had said to me sometimes, it'd be kind of weird if somebody's watching us, but we're on the second story. There's there's no way anybody could really see us, or so we thought. And so the other night, we went to bed, and all of a sudden the dog just starts going berserk outside. I get up and I look out the window because he had barked for a while. I thought he was just chasing something or whatever. I let him go on for a while, but then I got up, looked out the window. There's a drone like 20 yards away looking into our bedroom window. And
cue the B-roll.
when I saw it, it looked at me, or I knew it could see me because then it just took off like the instant I looked at it and went up over the top of the house and it was gone. And it's kind of disturbing. You wonder, what the guy's doing. Is it for personal use? Is he just like... I know he's not enjoying the scenery at 11 o'clock at night.
Father Ripperger, you're really out of control. Need to stop.
So the police can't really do much. I contacted the FAA, so we're, I don't know. I mean, something's got to be done. But Dolores is kind of hung up on what's going on with the footage, really. And I think being on the internet, that really isn't my biggest fear. I mean, people might be able to see my face that way, I guess.
Yeah, for you sleuths out there, really want to
start looking on voyeur websites, apparently. But I think the biggest fear is that if I see it, I would look at it and think, that doesn't look exactly like I thought it would.
Better not to know.
But yeah, so I don't know. We got that going on. And the other night, it's mildly disturbing. We hung up curtains the next day.
Okay,
so we have a line of defense now.
That was probably a venial sin not to have curtains on your windows.
Maybe we were putting out the near occasion to sin vibe.
Yeah.
I don't know, but yeah, it's just disturbing to think how long this guy has been watching us because obviously we've had a scorching couple of months here, so I'm not sure.
News got around apparently.
I don't know. We had the other night, my wife and I were talking while she was making supper, and I got teary-eyed, and she thought I was getting teary-eyed about what she was talking about. But I was like, no, because that was ridiculous. But I just, she has become my best friend again. And I just can't believe we ever treated each other so poorly. And it made me that sad because, man, that's just brutal. And I think right now we have the kind of communication that very few married couples have, I think. And so then, too, the other night, it felt really good to get something off my chest. I'd kept a secret from her for a long time. Not a long time, 5 years. But I don't really have any secrets from her. I don't know how many secrets she has from me.
You will never know.
I will never know. No, she's more of a vault than I am, but it feels good to... I don't really like to keep anything in. And I just had to tell her about... just during COVID, I came across... that my ex-girlfriend became a singer, and she wrote 2 songs about me, and I had listened to them. And
go search the internet, people.
Yeah. I couldn't believe it because we broke up basically because she wanted to be a singer, but I didn't really know that she actually did it. And so I came across her stuff on Spotify. And I don't know. I told her about it. We talked about it, and she didn't get mad at me. And I don't know, but she can't really get mad at me, but she could kind of for listening to it, I suppose. I don't know. Except I listened to it more than once, and that's what she was really. That's the most interesting part to her was. She's like, "How many times did you listen to it?" I mean, and she asked me that multiple times.
Interesting.
And the thing is, because like, if somebody wrote an open love letter about you, who wouldn't listen to that?
I had no idea you used to date Taylor Swift. Honestly, I mean, I'm not surprised.
Yeah, no, I wasn't the teardrops on my guitar guy, but yeah, no, I mean, but it was surprising when I heard that, and it's something I couldn't talk to her about. We were not at a place where I could talk to her about that. I didn't know what her reaction would be at that time, but I knew we could talk about it now.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I think it's so important for everybody to be able to talk to their wife about pretty much anything. And unfortunately, I don't know how we got there. I don't know how we got to this place. Because I would love to replicate this and share with the world how we got here. But I have no idea. I think it's in her head. Maybe, something happened. But it goes both ways, I guess. Like, there's something that happened, though, and I can't explain it.
Well, this kind of harkens back to something we talked a little bit about last week, how, I don't know, does more communication create more physical intimacy, or does more physical intimacy sort of foster more communication? Or maybe both is true.
Mm-hmm.
But this is where I think the kind of the advocates of abstinence, especially long-term abstinence for Catholic couples, really I don't think factor in the dynamic between communication between spouses and physical intimacy,
Mm-hmm.
and how much better the couple is. Because I think all they think about is, well, it's just the pleasure. I mean, which of course, yeah, it's pleasurable.
But that's not the point.
No. And the having that level of communication and trust is such a difference maker.
Mm-hmm.
Like, such a difference maker.
Yeah.
And we've experienced that too. Now we don't really talk about that kind of deep stuff so much, but just, I could definitely tell the difference between when my wife and I were just struggling a lot with all this, and communication felt so strained, and when it did happen, it
Mm-hmm.
felt like the fangs were out.
There's a difference between just discussing administrative tasks that have to happen every day and like a true deep conversation where you're discussing things that are uncomfortable, but you don't get upset.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah. And for my spouse, for her, being able to talk about that stuff actually is a very intimate experience for her. She's had some challenges with her job situation recently that have profoundly impacted her. And we have talked a lot about that, or she's talked a lot about that, and really, I don't know, just communicated that to me in a way that when things are not going well, she would not or couldn't do that. To me, that's always the sign that she feels safe and secure in our relationship and things are going well.
Mm-hmm.
Because for her, that is a major way in which she experiences love. That's kind of goes hand in hand with her quality time is her love language, but that deep level of communication, ability to communicate, even if it is not about super profound stuff, it's important to her for sure. And that is definitely, I mean, that's, our marriage is, going very, very good right now. And that's definitely, I don't know if that's a fruit or cause of that she's really opened up, and we've talked about those things.
Yeah.
So
yeah, that stuff is important. And my favorite part of the day right now is just talking to her at night and other stuff. But the talking is great.
Mhm.
It's important. And I don't know what we're going to talk about every day. That's exciting.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it is like, I think,
Like when you're getting, questioned over what you think about.
yeah. Well, so it's NFP Awareness Week or something like that. When this comes out, it'll be at the very end of the week. But
The culmination of the week.
yeah, the climax of the week, if you will.
Or the non-climax.
Yeah, right.
Depending on where you are.
It's I don't know. This week has taken on a little different meaning for me than it was in the past. But it's interesting because, hanging out on Twitter, at least, you get you get more than a healthy dose of the real traditionalists who have very strong negative opinions about NFP, but not for the reasons that we might have those. They're not big fans of physical intimacy in general. Should only use
Why
it
would you
sparingly.
be?
Yeah,
I don't know.
And so there's a book that came out. I just got it yesterday, an ebook. I might actually get to interview the guy. So
Really? On the other channel?
I might do it here.
Really? All right.
Yeah, and he was doing a podcast episode about it recently, and it was his book is on NFP. And a few things. Number one, he was coming to the defense of NFP because, believe it or not, there are quite a few traditionalists who think NFP is always wrong. Yes, not just you, John, but there are lots of people. Well, I don't know if there's lots
Including
of
people we know.
Yeah.
Personally, which is, it's wild to me.
Yeah, there are people that think NFP is no different than contraception, which I don't know. I'm not going to get into that argument other than there's a reason why everyone uses contraception and no one uses NFP.
All gas, no brake.
Yeah. So the but and then there are those who say, well, even if it's technically possible to use it, okay, couples are just constantly overusing it in a quote unquote contraceptive manner.
Overusing it.
And I'm just like, I honestly feel this way. People think I'm disagree with me, but NFP is such a, I don't know, chore to use that I just don't think normal people, use it for any extended period of time without a good reason to do it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Yeah.
It's a real drag. Like,
yeah, it's not just some like utopia situation.
I think maybe more women like it than men. I'm not saying all women like it, but actually, I got some data to back it up. So we'll talk about.
Oh,
that
really?
Here. Yeah,
we'll
talk about that here in a second. How would I describe my feelings about? Well, my feelings about NFP are less about NFP and less about other church rules that I guess make NFP more difficult, depending on how you follow them.
So one thing that I was thinking about the other day, are there any other church rules that we have today that are more restrictive than the book of Leviticus? Because I think the sex rules are more restrictive than they were in Leviticus, but I can't think of another example. We can eat everything.
Yeah.
We have different rules for the going to church and that's I don't know, but I can't think of anything more restrictive other than sex.
Right.
Because I think those rules, like if something happened sexually, you just didn't go to the temple for the day or whatever. Like
yeah. Yeah.
Or and I mean the fact that Onan isn't mentioned in Leviticus is pretty interesting.
Yeah.
You would think if it was a big deal to them, the pulling out thing, it'd be mentioned.
Yeah, Onan continues to be one of those little passages in scripture that I think gets much more miles than it deserves.
Yeah.
Yeah, so the story of Onan, I hope most of you know who that is or why he's infamous, but if not, go look it up. What's interesting about that is, so it's in, is it like the 38th chapter of Genesis?
That is correct.
Leviticus. So Leviticus has all kinds of, and all the rules pertaining to a lot of it dealing with eating and marrying and intimacy and all that. Leviticus comes after Genesis in the books of Scripture, but I think what I've seen suggests that it was probably written first. But either way, so the question is, so the Catholics, especially the conservative Catholics, are the only ones that really use this term onanism anymore.
Mm-hmm.
And they use it very, very broadly to include any. I mean, some say it's any time the man's seed gets wasted, so that would include solo, include coitus interruptus, which is
Other
I guess
than wet dreams. Apparently that's okay. Like, I mean, that's,
yeah.
you know.
Well, they got their ways to get around that. But the whole story about Onan, I think, has much more to do with those Levirate marriage rules that he refused to comply with. And there's all kinds of.
AI agrees with you. It says that while the story is often used to condemn contraception, some scholars argue that the primary reason for God's judgment was Onan's refusal to fulfill his Levirate obligation.
Yeah, I mean, the early church doctors, the Augustines, I mean, even I think Pius XI cites it in Casti Connubii. I don't know that it made its way into Humanae Vitae, but there's been a lot of sexual moral rules supported based on that one little section in
based on an
Genesis.
obscure passage
Right.
that happened like how many years ago you think that was? Like 5,000?
Yeah, I don't know.
I mean,
a long time, right?
Yeah.
But what's interesting about that, they're like, well, yeah, he God killed him for, let's say, the act of pulling out. And so
thankfully I'm still here.
Yeah, well,
I
I think that's one of the questions. Like, well, why him and not
everybody else has done it?
Yeah. But they're like, but so as you just noted, I think everyone but sort of the most conservative Catholics don't really view that as being the major issue with Onan, but it was sort of the sinister way he was approaching that Levirate marriage stuff and why he did that.
And preventing transfer of wealth, essentially.
Yeah,
is what it was.
exactly. Well, the let's say the conservative Catholics say, well, not fulfilling your Levirate duties wasn't a capital offense back then, so it wouldn't make sense that God would kill him for that. I'm like, well, I don't think pulling out was either.
Mm-hmm.
They don't. So getting to Leviticus, like there's no, it's certainly not included. There's nothing in Genesis that I'm aware of that would in any way indicate that that's wrong, much less it's a capital offense. Leviticus, I don't think there's nothing in Leviticus that would deal with. There's in Leviticus it talks about, I think, don't be doing it during the menstrual period and things like that. Which ironically enough, I think Leviticus says if a couple does it during a woman's bleeding, they should be cut off from the people, which I don't know, that seems a little extreme.
Does seem extreme.
Yeah. But
I wonder what they thought about that. Like, why?
They had a lot of theirs was just dietary and purity, cleanliness rules.
So it looks like there was only a few prohibited sexual relations. You have within family, menstruation,
animals,
and Yep, and homosexual acts.
Right.
Those are the 4 things that are prohibited in Leviticus. So,
Yeah. And I think
you know,
I think it said let those people be killed, actually.
yeah, I mean, I don't know. So we went from some very basic rules, and I think, the menstruation thing is just kind of weird, but to a long list of, do's and don'ts, and
Well,
how we got there is interesting.
yeah, and like I said, I Leviticus, I don't have the specific verse, says, husband and wife shall not engage during the menstrual period. But and like I said, the punishment for them was to be cut off from the people. And yet no one follows that now. I mean, maybe
Yeah.
I think there are still some of the pretty conservative Jewish people that do that, but I don't think most Catholics, even the most hardcore conservative Catholics, follow that. Other than for, I would say, more practical reasons, not for moral reasons. And I know some have argued, well, the reason why they didn't let people do that is because they knew women were infertile then, and so you were engaging in the marital act during the non-fertile times. I don't actually think that's the reason. I think they didn't know.
Yeah.
It was, like I said, it was more of a just kind of an ick type
Mhm.
thing.
Yeah.
So, but it's interesting how some of those rules back then have not been carried forth. But Onan is alive and well.
He is alive and well.
And traditional Catholics
living rent free in their heads.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, I ran a poll. I think this was a pretty good poll. It might be one of my better polls over on Twitter that I wanted to talk about a little bit. I hope you got a chance to vote on it. I bet you did.
Was it the eating one?
Yes.
Yes, I did vote.
Okay. So here's this one. I kind of thought I knew what the results would be, but I did not think they were going to be quite this dramatic. So, and I'll put images of the polls on the screen here in editing, but so for here, I'm just going to read it out for those that are maybe just listening in the car. So here was the poll. And this got 105 votes, which is it's not a mandate, but more than just a few people.
Mm-hmm.
Enough that I think the results are indicative of something. So here is because I think this fits in. I think this actually fits in quite a bit with NFP and how people feel about it, and how and why I think men and women tend to have little different feelings about NFP. So, if forced to choose between option A or option B, which would you prefer? So you got to pick between option A and option B. Option A is this: you have a window of. Do you do intermittent fasting?
I have. Generally I don't eat after supper, and between supper and like when I get up in the morning. So,
Yeah.
I mean,
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I'm doing intermittent fasting now,
Hmm.
trying to figure out how to stop being fat.
How's it going?
Nothing's working.
Hmm.
I mean,
Oh.
maybe there was a half a pound off today on the scale, but it's starting to get kind of bleak.
Oh, you can do it, man.
I'm going to keep. So I am. I'm intermittently fasting from about 7 o'clock at night, just because a lot of times that's how long it takes for us to get done with supper, until noon the next day.
Oh, okay.
So I had to give up breakfast, which is hard. Breakfast is one of my favorite meals of the day.
Yeah.
There is something about the discipline of it that I think is helpful. So I end up with about 7 hours. Ideally, I'd like to get to about 6 hours.
Do you drink caffeine in the morning, or you give that up too?
I'll drink caffeine, but it's black coffee. I don't put any cream and stuff in it.
No.
So, but for me, that is a difficulty.
Mm-hmm.
Not being able to snack at night, not being able to enjoy breakfast is hard for me. Like I really, really enjoy those things. So for me, that was sacrifice. But so option A, is kind of along those lines. You have a window of 6 hours each day to eat. Not horrible, but it's still, I think, for
That's
most of us,
fine.
that's
It's not unbearable.
right. But I think for most of us, a difficulty. You can't, so outside of that, you can only have non-sugary drinks. So, like, I think for most of us, that
Coffee.
also means no alcohol
Mm-hmm.
and things like that. Outside of the 6 hour window, but
Would milk count?
yeah, you can't have milk.
Okay, can't have milk. Okay.
Right.
All right.
You must only consume sugar-free liquids the rest of the time and fast from all food. In exchange, you can enjoy the marital act as frequently as you want.
Okay.
That's quite a trade-off. Huh?
Yeah, I think that's pretty good.
Option B. So that was option A. Option B is you abstain for 2 weeks between each marital act. Not just so.
Oh,
Absolutely. And here's the kicker, right? Absolutely no hanky panky together or alone during that 2 weeks. So no solo, no other acts, no nothing. In exchange, you can eat anytime you want.
so option B is the divorce option.
Yeah, right.
If you want to burn up your marriage, that's
right.
the one you pick.
Yes. So I said, if you're not married, please.
Everybody that picked option B should be aware of that. I'm just saying.
Well, let's listen to the results here, okay? If you're not married, please don't vote on this poll, but you can comment below. So, I broke it down so men and women can vote on option A or B. So we have the totals for both options for both genders.
Mm-hmm.
Well, let's start with the men. So of the men that voted, we had 105 votes. we had 71 votes. So more men voted in this poll than women, but we had 71 votes by men, and of those, 55 of them, or 77%, voted option A.
I believe that. That's my pick.
Yeah. 16 or 23% voted voted option B. They would take option B over option A.
And they're no longer attracted to their wives. Like, I don't know how you make that work. There's no way that anybody can really do that.
I'm just
and have a functioning marriage.
Yeah, I'm definitely perplexed to how you would choose that. Maybe they. Now, I didn't rule out. I didn't make all the different disclaimers if you're diabetic and stuff like that. So someone would be like, "Well, I would die under that, so I can't do that."
Well, I guess.
But,
I mean, we have. I don't know.
Whatever.
That's your issue.
Yeah, that's right. Got to do hard things as Catholics, people.
That's right.
So over 3/4, so 77% of men picked option A.
Honestly, and I would pick option A even if it was just like 30 minutes a day.
We'll just wait till the next poll.
Okay.
So women. So how do you think women compared to men in that poll? You think it was about the same?
I'm sure it wasn't the same. I think they would. Like, my wife needs to eat, so I don't know.
So women, we had 34 votes, so take that for what it's worth. Okay, so of the women, we had 34 vote. 16 of them, or 47%, took option A.
That's kind of surprising.
Yeah,
I would have thought. More would take option B, but that's good. It's good for the ladies out there too.
Is it that they like food so much, or that they don't care about sex so much? What do you think?
I think my wife gets kind of cranky if she doesn't eat, so I know that she would be concerned about that. But then I think you could have an option where the man is self-sacrificing, only eats a half an hour a day, but your wife then can eat. You take up her time.
Yeah.
Like I would have no problem with that. I would do it for Dolores in a second.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you could. I guess there's nothing in here that means they both have to be doing the same thing, but I think but 18 of the 34 women, or 53%, took option B.
Did your wife vote on this poll?
No. But I think I know where she would vote. She would be with the majority.
But the problem is that my wife also knows how important intimacy is to her marriage. So I don't know actually how she would vote, to be honest. Because she takes intimacy very seriously now compared to, how she would have years ago.
Yeah. Well, I know for without even asking her that my wife's not going to tolerate 6 hours a day.
What if it made her like super skinny though, or whatever? You know, like I thought, you know, she's kind of like.
I don't think she wants it that bad.
She's fine with however.
Moderation in all things, right?
What if you had to do it every 2 weeks, regardless of NFP status or whatever? Then what would she pick?
Oh, like you were
like
still...
you're still forced by the law then to have sex after 14 days. Like even if it lined up with ovulation.
Well, she would not take that either.
So then she might take option A.
Well, then you're doing it whenever you want.
Oh, you're right. So but then you could abstain whenever you want too.
That really sucks for the guy. He's eating 6 hours a day, and then
that's where communication comes in. You can work through this.
We haven't worked out all the details. Let's just say that. But I think this is
an odd religious practice.
Yeah.
but really, we have some strange ones too, so it's not that strange. I mean, it's literally not that strange.
Truth is stranger than fiction sometimes. So
it's true.
But I think this. Well, let's before we talk about it too much. So I ran a second poll. I'm like, I thought the 6 hours would be a little more difficult for men than it is. Maybe that's just because I'm a glutton and I like food. Obviously, well, maybe the part you see isn't so obvious, but if you go down further, it's obviously I like food. So, so I was like, okay, well, how bad does it have to get before men are like, I can't do this anymore, right?
It'd have to be pretty bad.
So, so I had the men vote, and the option A under our original poll was 6 hours a day, and like I said, 77% of men picked that. I was like, I guess I didn't make it difficult enough. So I said, men for those men that voted for option A at 6 hours, at what point would you no longer vote A? Like, what would it take for you to change from option A to option B? And so here's the options I gave. Instead of 6 hours, it's a 5 hour window. I think 5 hours is getting kind of tough. Like it would be tough for me to adjust to that.
Got to keep your eye on the prize, buddy.
Yeah, I know. I'm just saying it would be difficult. 4 hours?
Yeah.
Or 3 hours? 5 hours, 4 hours, and 3 hours. And again, based on the results, I probably didn't make this difficult enough.
Mm-hmm.
But so we started to lose a few at this point. So the guys that were willing to go 6 hours, 7% of the men responding said 5 hours, I'm out, tap out. 11% were out at 4 hours. So they were willing to go 5 hours, but not 4 hours. And then 14% were out at 3 hours. So they were willing to go up to 4 hours, but 3 hours was the cutoff.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so we lost those guys. They're back to doing NFP all the time. But 68% said I'd still do option A. So even 3 hours.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I took that. I voted for that last one. I'd still choose option A, but I assumed that meant that it didn't matter how low it went, really. Is that what your intention was?
Well, the intention was because the only options they gave was up to 3 hours. So we could keep running it out. I mean, eventually, I think. I mean, in our magical poll world, assume that this is like not detrimental to your health. Like you can get the calories you need within that time frame.
Even if it's detrimental to your health, that makes it even more interesting.
Yeah.
I mean, it does.
Yeah, that's true.
I would be willing to look like I was working in some sort of Russian prison camp.
Option C, if you had to cut off your left hand in order to enjoy the marital act every day, how far off would you have the arm cut off, right?
You're the master of Twitter polls. I'll tell you that.
So, I mean, this, I think, highlights. I mean, it's such a good week to talk about it on NFP Awareness Week because this is really what it comes down to. And I think, getting back to people that like it or don't like it, I would say Christopher West notwithstanding, I really don't. I have yet to meet. I'm trying to think if I met a guy. I have yet to meet a guy that's using NFP regularly and, following all the other rules in between. That would say, yeah, I'm very blessed to have NFP in my life. At best, it's something they tolerate.
It's true. You might find one guy on Twitter that says that.
I would be surprised that guy exists.
Yeah.
Assuming let's say he has the exact same sort of set of circumstances I do, same level of fertility, same level of drive and all that. And I just can't imagine there's too many guys that are like, yeah, NFP is great. It's one of the best parts of my life.
Yeah.
But I think there are more women that I think like NFP compared to the alternatives. I would say my wife probably fits into that category. She likes to make sure she reminds me too that she doesn't have any real issues going the halftime show, which is more than half the time, but
I don't know.
But we'll wear her down.
Yep, that's right. Be persistent.
This intermittent fasting finally chisels this David hidden underneath here somewhere.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, yeah, my wife enjoys the halftime part of it, so
yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. So, and I think what it really comes down to from what we have learned from, I guess, our experience and other people's experiences, that I don't think there are a lot of couples that use NFP regularly and follow all of the other rules to a T.
Mm-hmm.
I think most people,
they cut corners somewhere.
Yeah, that's kind of been our working theory, and I'm growing more and more confident in that theory.
Pretty accurate,
right?
It's almost like a facade, really. That we all live this, situation where I think maybe to the priests, they think everybody's just trucking along, and but there's some corner cutting going on,
which is why I just can't help but chuckle. By the, let's say, the Johns of the world, and then those that think we shouldn't even be using NFP. I don't know. Feels like the two or three people that are standing at the street corner protesting something, holding up signs or something like that. I'm just like, how are we, like, most people don't use NFP, including Catholics, and very few of those Catholics are following all the rules in between. Let's just be honest. And so, and yet your big hang up is we got to stop. The problem here is people are using NFP at all. I'm just like, are you just out of your mind?
Yeah.
So I don't know. I mean, I think my relationship with NFP has sort of evolved over time. I still hate the abstinence part of it. I think it's too long. I think it should be about a week. What do you think?
Oh, a week is kind of long too.
Oh, you're spoiled over there, Mr. Solomon.
I would go like 3 days. Like, I mean, to be honest though, I really have issues with depriving married couples of being together at all. And, if you don't want to get pregnant, just do other things.
Yeah.
That's kind of my view.
Yeah.
I mean, that's not the church's view. And I'm not telling people should do that, but I'm just saying that's my personal view because, is there really bad touching within marriage? I really don't think so.
Well, I'll put myself in that weird category of people that thinks that the concept of NFP has been good for our marriage.
Okay. Despite the constant complaining. What this is Stockholm syndrome here. There's no way this is real.
It could be.
NFP, it's great for my marriage. But I've been bitching about it for years.
Yeah. Started a podcast to complain about it all the time. Well, two things. I think NFP, well, which I guess this is how we live. NFP without other stuff, at least as a couple. I plead the fifth on my handling of the abstinence period, but
And that's the problem.
it is.
I mean, it is. That's a problem.
Even if you do that without guilt, it's not a great option.
Yeah, because doing things with your wife will always bring you closer.
Yep.
And that's something that,
Yep.
that I've really come to understand with our Song of Songs period going on here. It's just the connection that occurs when your wife is enthusiastic about taking care of all your needs. That is an incredible bond that is just unbelievable. And I can't convey how good that is.
I can only imagine. Sounds great. But I think
But it's great to go without it for a while.
Yeah. Well,
it's even better.
Like I said, the two major problems with NFP aren't really, well, they are kind of NFP, but one of them is if you're going to, you've got to live like monks the rest of the time. I think that's a problem. And number two, and I think maybe the more real problem with NFP is, and again, go into the comments, people will be like, "Hey, have you tried Marquette? You only have to abstain for like 3 days." Someone like left a comment like, "Sister, I got some news for you." But for most of us, it's too long.
So why did she say it's only 3 days?
She obviously doesn't.
She doesn't use it.
Right.
Okay.
Right. I mean, I think
it's one of those things that is great on paper, but in practice, it looks a lot different.
Yeah. I mean, if you knew, well, if sperm didn't last so long and you knew exactly with a crystal ball when ovulation was going to happen, maybe you could get that down, but
it's still risky.
Yeah. Yep.
It's like, how much risk are you willing to accept?
Right.
And you're willing to accept more risk than your wife is.
Right.
Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, that's pretty standard.
Yep. Yep. So, if the abstinence period was regularly 1 week, I'm not saying I would like it, but I think I would do a lot less complaining. You don't think so, huh?
I'm skeptical. I'm not saying you can't do it. I'm just saying, you're depriving yourself of the time when your wife desires intimacy the most. And that's an odd situation, I think. I mean, it's complicated. I actually, I don't know how you do it, but.
Oh, yeah, I've noticed that. I people, I don't get too much information. There is that aspect that NFP deprives women of the ability to be intimate when chemically and hormonally and biologically they would want that the most, right? And I know a lot of women report having just almost no desire the rest of the time, right? I mean, I think that's pretty common.
Yeah.
For us, it's not so dramatic. Like, I don't know that it's
okay.
But I think the flip side of it is I don't think there's a super lack of desire the rest of the time. So, in our household, at least, it's not such a major issue.
It works fine.
Yeah.
Right.
But I can see how if that's like the one time of the month, that you really, really look forward to it as a woman, and then the rest of the time it's just a real complete drag. Yeah, I can see how NFP would be a real drag. But I think the biggest thing is NFP is for most couples to be actually consistently reliable. Requires a lot more abstinence than is typically advertised.
Yeah.
I think it's, some like to say, it's 7 to 10 days. I think for most people, it's a minimum of 10 days, and it's more like 10 to 14, 10 to 20 days.
20 days. Just.
Yeah.
That's how, that's how you get divorced.
Yeah.
I mean, without a doubt.
Yeah.
I mean, tensions run high. Starts out as resentment, and it builds until you really, really don't like each other.
Yeah. There's no the only communication in that household is one-fingered sign language, right?
Yeah.
and
that affects the kids.
Well, and that again, that to me, the biggest missing component to this in the conversation about NFP or those that hate it, don't even want people to be able to use NFP, is it's not just about the pleasure and enjoyment of the act itself or acts themselves. It's about how much it deeply infects the household, the children, all that other kind of stuff. Like that,
Mhm.
that really is where the presence or lack of physical intimacy makes such a huge difference.
Yeah. For sure.
And,
I mean,
mhm.
we're affectionate all the time now.
Yeah.
Like holding
Right.
hands, kissing, and I mean, it's
Right.
great.
Kids are all, yucky, you guys. Go get a room.
Well, it's funny because we've been talking with our oldest son
Mhm.
about puberty and
Oh.
that sort of thing. And, just trying to have, Dolores tries to have constant talks with him, not like, every day she'll mention just something that's uncomfortable for him because she wants him to know that he can always come to us to talk about things. And last night, I can't remember what it was. We were sharing a spoon or something. And my wife just kind of goes, "Ew, I don't want to share a spoon with you or whatever." And she's like, then she looked at our oldest son and she's like, "It's not like I kissed the inside of his mouth." And then I looked at her and I was like, so when he walked away, I'm like, "You don't kiss the inside of my mouth?" She's like, "I just wanted him to like be grossed out by it, so he doesn't want to kiss people with his tongue."
Oh.
And I was like, "I'm pretty sure that when he's in high school, that isn't going to slow him down." And our oldest son heard us talking about kissing with tongues. He's like, "Ew." Yeah, it's not that gross.
Yeah, that's what the little kids, when they see us being affectionate, they're like, "Oh, heck yeah." I'm like, well, you'll like it more as you get older.
Yeah.
It's one of those things that happens. So,
Yep.
so yeah, that's our thoughts on NFP awareness week. Let us know in the comments what you think about those poll results.
And I think we're gonna have a new poll this week. Dolores wants this poll.
So what Dolores asks, Dolores receives.
Because of our drone experience, she wants to know how many couples are intimate with the lights on versus lights off. And so maybe we should have a range, like lights fully on, some kind of mood lighting, and then total darkness.
Pitch black.
Yeah.
So I'll put a link. I think I could run a poll on YouTube. I'll also put a link. The easiest way for me to do a poll will be over on Twitter, the Uncharted Catholic Man Twitter account.
Okay.
I'll make a note. So I'll start the poll. I'll give you guys time. So I think I can do the poll for up to like 5 or 7 days. So I'll start it on the day that this comes out. And if people want to vote, go over and vote.
She's really interested to know, so please vote.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh.
Yes. Yeah. Because then she was going through like the couples that we know. She's like, "I bet you they're dark people." like in the dark, lights out people. That's what she said.
Yeah,
lights out people.
We knew what you meant.
Yeah.
I wonder what Father Rippinger thinks about that.
Yeah, you want to do it with the lights on or off? I mean, it's less. I don't know.
There's certain ways of engaging in the conjugal act which are proper and ones which are not.
I bet there is. I bet there's rules. I bet there, people like to bring up these manuals, moral manuals.
Yeah.
So you can have, they're all from the 1800s. So you can have one candle, but it can't be closer than 6 feet to your bed. The 2 candles can't have. Maybe.
I don't know.
Maybe the old manuals.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I won't give away what my answer is going to be.
All right. We'll save it for next week.
So if you want to get involved in that poll, I want to know what Joe Pilot's answer is. I'm kind of curious about.
He's a lights on guy.
Yeah.
I mean, he might even be like Spotlight.
Yeah.
It's like a runway.
That's right. That's right. I want to know. So I hope he leaves a comment because I want to know.
Yeah.
Lights, fully lit, dimly lit, or pitch black. Those are your options.
Joe Pilot, we love having you in our group.
Yeah. We got to get you back on again sometime.
Yeah, to discuss navigating menopause, I think.
Mm-hmm. And I think I've already committed the two of you for writing a book together.
That's good. And
So
we got to work on that.
yeah.
I mean, you're going to be part of it too, right? Maybe not.
Yeah.
Well,
I'll do the title. That's all they get.
You are the title master.
Yeah, I'll do titles and
All right.
polls. If there's polls involved, I'll do the polls. But you guys are the
All right. We're the workhorses.
You are the Solomons. Yep.
All right.
So okay.
Sounds good, man.
All right. Well, thanks for everyone for tolerating that. We'll be back next week.
Yep.
So yeah. Thank you, Jonah. Thank you, everyone, for listening. And until next time, everyone.
Bye.
Have a good one.